Let's begin with a flashback. Many years ago, we went to the Hollywood Bowl to see a tribute to Ella Fitzgerald, and part of that tribute included a film clip from an Abbott Costello film called Ride 'em Cowboy. She sang A Tisket a Tasket. It was Ella's first appearance on screen, and I thought, wow, Abbott and Costello, I haven't thought about them in a long time. I always liked them. I need to revisit their stuff. Let's fast forward to when DVDs were invented, and I ended up with this gigantic Abbott and Costello, the Complete Universal Pictures Collection. Very nice package, looks like a trunk kind of. And it's got 15 discs in here, 28 films, including some extra material, a 40-page booklet. You can still buy this on DVD and Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is about twice as much, but this is a very nice package. And then we flash forward several more years, and not too long ago, the company Classic Flicks brought out 2 Abbott and Costello films, including The Noose Hangs High and Africa Screams. This one in particular was a limited edition, and it's pretty difficult to find. I've heard that it goes for as much as $100 right now. So let's fast forward to the present day. Classic Flicks just released a 3rd Abbott and Costello disc, and that brings us to today's episode. This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy, and that's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today, an Abbott and Costello family film that I remember very fondly from childhood. Let's check it out. Today's film is Abbott and Costello in Jack and the Beanstalk. It's from 1952, 78 minutes long. It's in sepia tone and in color. More about that in a minute. This is basically the Jack and the Beanstalk story. Lou Costello is Jack, and he wants to climb the beanstalk to save the princess and get back Henry and Nellie. Henry is his best friend, his cow, which for some reason wears rouge and lipstick in this film. And Nellie is his chicken, who lays golden eggs. Bud Abbott is Mr. Dinklepuss. He is the butcher that Jack goes to sell the cow, and then ends up with the magic beans. This is their first film in color. And there's a lot of similarities between this film and The Wizard of Oz. For example, it starts in sepia tone. They call that the modern story. And that's sort of like the framing device, just like in Wizard of Oz. We have Bud and Lou as babysitters, and Lou starts to read Jack and the Beanstalk to this kid he's babysitting, and Lou falls asleep, and then it switches to color, and they call that the fantasy world. And the rest of the film, for the most part, is in color, where it takes place as Jack and the Beanstalk story. And then at the end, it switches back again to sepia tone, and Lou wakes up, and we have the end of the film. Other things that are similar to Wizard of Oz include some of the actors, the people in the sepia tone modern world, show up in the fantasy world too in color. And we also have some painted backgrounds. We have a little bit of animation here and there. And we also have some songs. There are about 5 songs in this film, 2 of them with full choreography. But the bad part is only one song is really memorable. That's the song that Lou sings. And one of the other songs sung by the prince is god-awful. He sings in this very operatic voice, and it's pretty terrible. And I don't know what kids would think seeing that part of the film. I don't remember what I thought seeing it. But Abbott and Costello are up to their usual shtick in here. You know, Bud Abbott is the consummate straight man. Some people say he's the greatest straight man ever. Debatable, right? Lou is up to his antics. He breaks the 4th wall now and then, looking directly at the camera. He acts like a little boy sometimes. There's a funny moment when he's talking to the princess, and the princess says to Lou, "Did you ever like a boy, but he didn't know if you liked him or not?" And Lou kind of does a double take and looks at the camera, looks at her and says, "Well, they tell me that I'm a boy." Lou also does his girl crazy bit, and he's very, very physical. He's a really good physical comedian, as you probably already know. And that's shown to the utmost in 2 set pieces. One is he's dancing with this servant girl who is at least 2 feet taller than Lou is, and he just keeps getting smacked around by her unintentionally while they're dancing. And then the other big set piece is Lou fighting the giant. The giant is played by Buddy Bear, who used to be a boxer. And he's kind of scary in this for little kids. They show a close-up of his face. He's got a little bit of makeup on. He's growling all the time. So anyways, my rating for Jack and the Beanstalk is 4 cows. It's not my favorite Abbott Costello film, but, you know, nostalgia's sake and because I'm a fan of theirs, I'm going to go with it. So where can you see Abbott and Costello in Jack and the Beanstalk? Well, right now it's playing on Amazon Prime, and I'm going to guess it's a public domain film because you can also see it on YouTube. Now, what's on this disc? Quite a bit. This is listed as the 70th anniversary limited edition, and so because of what happened with the Africa Screams disc that I showed you earlier, which is now so difficult to find unless you want to pay a lot of money, I went ahead and grabbed this even though it wasn't that cheap, but I wanted to have it to go along with the other two, and plus I'm a collector, so that's the way it goes, right? It includes many extras. There's an intro by Lou's daughter, who says this was the favorite book of theirs to read together when she was growing up. There's a commentary, which I did not listen to, by Abbott and Costello expert. There is a history of Cinecolor feature. It's about 10 minutes long. Honestly, it kind of went over my head. It says it's filmed in Cinecolor, and the colors just pop. It looks amazing. It's so colorful. There's a Who's on First routine that I guess was never shown before. It's about 5 minutes long. There is a 10-minute feature about the music in the film. There's a 20-minute feature about some footage that was cut from the film. There is there's a feature called Abbott and Costello Meet the Creature. Now, they did that series of films with the Universal Monsters, starting with Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, one of my favorite films. And that was so popular they did one with The Invisible Man. They did one with The Mummy, and several others. And so this one, this is from the Colgate Comedy Hour back in the early stages of live TV comedy, and they're appearing on this show, and the creature from the Black Lagoon shows up at one point and scares them. And so that was a lot of fun to watch. There is a restoration demo showing you what this film looked like before they restored it. That's always interesting, and they did a lot of work on this. It looks beautiful. And there's a bunch of trailers and some photos. So, like I said, for fans, you might want to grab this collector's as well. Otherwise, you just want to check it out. There's ways you can check it out. So, hope you like this video. Feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down here. This is not my favorite Abbott and Costello film, but I'm really glad that I got this while it was still available. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. But guess what? We made 300 subscribers, as long as nobody unsubscribed, which happens sometimes. So a toast to you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Oh my. And share this with your friends and neighbors. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I hope you like this video, and otherwise, see you next time.